Hello, everybody. So, yep, this is a new hair look. I am going to depot some makeup today video. And so, I got my depotting tools. I have my Z palette. I have my beauty superstars. I am going to depot these. I am going to also pull some of my little, this is one that broke. I had to fix that bad boy because it was completely dusted. I honestly don't know if I'm going to, this isn't a really hard plastic too. I don't know if I could even depot that if I wanted to. But because of the hard plastic, but I have a bunch of little goodies that I want to depot, of Ipsy things, all kinds of stuff. Now this I am doing first because this is the easiest one to do, and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why. Why, you ask, Princess? Why is it the easiest one? Well, let me tell you why. Because it's in plastic. So I can literally cut right up to every one of these little squares and pull it out very gently, and it will be super simple. At least that's how I see it. So, and I love this palette. But this is the cheesiest thing, and nobody likes palettes to stick in their stash because if you're a palette hoarder like me, let's call it a palette lover, because I'm not a hoarder. I give them away as fast as I can bring them in. So, but I love this one, and this thing is this thick, double thick here. When you close it up, I don't want that. So, I already have an older Ulta that's partially filled with some products. And I'm going to fill this up with this one. Now, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep it that way. I do have another Z palette. I may end up using this one, and in the one that's got the odds and ends, put my odds and ends Ulta or odds and ends Ipsy things in there. But I am going to grab my scissors. Oh gosh, I swear, I thought, you know, you think you're prepared, and this is like my life story. I think I'm so prepared to do something, and I am far from it. So I'm going to do this the easy way. I'm going to just cut right up to this glue, and I'm going to cut along this way as well, and cut the corner piece off like this. Because I can just literally have this cool little turtle one, because that came from my, oh gosh, of course I just poked into it. Let me press that back down. It's a good thing these are soft because it's hard to even tell, but I know you can see it. Oh, see, I'm gonna, and this is a bold move for me, because I used to be like the most super coordinated together person. I could just do anything and do it well. God just gave me that ability, and I give him the glory for it. But since I've gotten sick, I am anything but that. So I'm just getting under like this, and see, I just pushed it right up. And it came right out. Now it has some Gupta stuff on the bottom. I want to see if this is magnetic. They have this big magnet. They are slightly, but not super. And of course, the chunk I just hit is flying back down. going to get me a little packer brush and pack that back down in there. That's one of my favorite colors in that palette too, of course, is the purple blue. It looks like blue, but it's actually really a gorgeous purple. And so let's just open up the Z palette, because I'll make this one, I think, all profusion, and then I'm going to label the back of them what they are so I know. Or just comes with the little magnets, which I love. And I love that these are square, I'm not going to lie, because they make this look better. Like, they're going to fit right in there really nicely. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take out the green. I am just getting underneath it, pushing up the, very simple. There it is. This one doesn't have tons of plastic stuff on the back, so I'm just going to put it in there next to it. And then there was two. But the blue one's moving because of the sticky stuff. And I may end up having to pull that sticky stuff off out of there. Gosh darn it. See, even though this is plastic, you still have to really make sure you get into the right spot, because I just hit the corner. Oh, it just cracked. See? These things are just not always that simple. Oh my gosh. Oh, this really makes me mad, because this should be super simple, because these aren't even in a, you know, a box. They're just not that easy to do. So I'm sliding it over. I'll show you right now. Got it out, but if you guys can see it, it cracked right down the center. And I'm like a little, you know, persnickety about how things look. I am totally like a detail person. And so I do not like the way that that looks. I don't like that it looks cracked, but you can fix it with alcohol. I'm just going to pat it down in the corner. While that color is really more black, and it is brown. It is not one of my favorite colors of the palette, so I'm not completely bummed about that. But, you guys, I really thought that this would be, see now, this I can already see when you bend this is cracking in the middle. The color is cracking right in the middle. I just do not know exactly the best way to do it, to where these don't. There, it's cracking again. Boy, these shadows are very, like, look, see it? I'm glad this is not an expensive palette, and that's why I wanted to start with this, because look at what it just did. Now this would end up being one of my, like, favorite colors as far as a transition shade. So I'm starting to feel like I just invested this money in these things for nothing, because I feel like I'm not going to be able to do it, because I just am in pain all the time, and it just does not give me a steady hand. Like, I do have a steady hand sometimes, but like this should be super duper easy. These should be coming out of the plastic easy, and it should not be cracking it. But I'm going to get my alcohol. Hold on a moment. There. Sorry. Got my alcohol right here. And where is my... Oh. I'm going to make sure this isn't one I used for my nails. Okay, so this, now I'm going to move you guys back to the center. To the center. I'm going to get some of this out. What you do, you just put it over the shadow, drop it in like this. You see how it's wet now? It is not supposed to ruin the color. Then you just take a little brush and then tap it in. See, now I've got it back in place somewhat. Now I'm going to add a little more. And it doesn't look bad now. I mean, it doesn't look perfect, but it does not look bad. So now I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to drop it over the brown that's in here, just to seam all that back together, because it cracked down the middle. So I'm just putting it and tapping, because I don't want a dark color like this, especially a dark color like this, to crack and get all over my palette. So I'm going to show you so you can see. See, now the brown is pushed back in. It's wet, it's still drying, but this one has already dried because the alcohol dries really fast. And so, I mean, it's not a total loss when you crack something, so just keep that in mind. This is why we start with less expensive things. I'm going to pop the blue out of here though, because this blue is ruining it. It's making it, you have to take the glue off because it's making it slide on the bottom of my palette. So now I'm going to have to get some nippers because it's not. I'm going to take these nippers and I'm just going to, see, I'm just taking the glue right off the back. I'm going to rub over it a little bit with this because there's just a tiny bit, but with this cotton it will make it less sticky, so it won't keep the magnet from adhering. Then I'm going to put it back in. See, now it's going up in the corner and it's not flipping down because the glue was causing it to pull out of its location, which is kind of weird, but I'm just cleaning the sticky stuff off my little cuticle nippers, which are my handy dandy cuticle nippers. I'm going to go into the corner. I'm sliding it along and trying to lift. Like this one is really glued in. Okay, here it comes. It's cracking. Gosh, dang it. Yeah, these pans I think are very thin. So it's causing them to, like, they're just, I don't think they're very good quality, obviously, because they sell their makeup dirt cheap. I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol to keep it from breaking out. Yeah, just wet it. Well, this is so not as easy as I was expecting, you guys. Got it. Makes me want to give up now. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's very easy to do. Number one, it does waste tons of product. Tons. Because if it cracks, which I'm just patting it now down, back down into the thing. So now this has got some glue on the bottom. I'm going to have to nip off. I don't know if it's... This has got goofy stuff all over it. And I think what I'm going to do is get some rubbing alcohol on my little thing here. Load it up, and then I'm going to go over it with that. Because that should help with the goofiness. Like, there is just tons. Like, here's what it looks like on the back. And I can feel it, like, around the edges. And it just feels like it's not going to stick properly. I'm going to try, but... So, I feel like if it would just, like, it sticks, but it's not good. And I feel like it's kind of partially sticking because of the tacky stuff on the back. And that means the bummer thing about that is that you'd have to use tons tons of those magnets, the Z palette magnets. I'm going to try to cut some more of this glue off. And since these little pans are so fragile, I just feel like, oh, guys, I just don't think this is going to be. There is still a little crack back in that corner. What I think I need to do is I have a little heating plate, like a little candle warmer heating plate. I have no clue where that is right now, by the way. Get some more alcohol. Put it down in the corner here. Take my handy dandy brush and tap it in. That pushes it back down. It breaks that, gets that crack back in position. I feel like though now that this has got cracks in the center, because it's not like doing this causes it to adhere right back together unless I wet it really wet the eyeshadow. That crack is going to seam back together a little, but not enough to make it look or seem brand new. Do you know what I mean? And so I feel like I don't see, now I just lost my train of thought, but I feel like I just don't know if this is going to be great, because I have to get an old one of these to get fuzz on this stuff so that the fuzz keeps this stuff from sticking to the Z palette. And these little magnets are not cheap. They're not like outrageously expensive, but they're not cheap either. And I was really bummed because when I got my Z palettes from Tarte, excuse me, they did not come with the magnets. See, and now this brown is not, it's not going to stay. I already know it. So I'm going to take one of these little guys, peel the sticker off, and that bums me out because I don't want to have to use these. You just push it right on there. See, now it's on. And now it sticks really great. But this is a $10 palette from Profusion. Now, don't get me wrong. It's worth it. It's just if you're like me, no one wants to see their beauty product like mangled in their kit. Do you know what I mean? Like everything is like, oh, when they're new, they look so pretty, and then after a while you use them and you're like, oh, that looks like, you know what? And so here, look at, I'm 23 minutes in, you guys, and look at this, I've got 5 in here. That's hard work. That's not an easy, non-time consuming project. This is like, I'm going to be here all day project. So, I don't know. And I don't want to break the rest of these, but what, oh, this is, thank you, I just got my train of thought back. So I have this little candle warmer, and what I think I'm going to have to do is cut the little squares out, set them on it, let it heat the glue up a little bit, and then pull them out. The only thing that worries me is this is cheap plastic, and I don't want the plastic to melt onto my candle warmer, because then it'll be stinking up my house every single time I go to use it to heat something up. But if I cut the little squares out, and then I put them on there to heat up that glue, then I think they'll pop right out rather easy. So I'm going to end this one right here. I'm going to go find it and we will finish it up on another video, you guys. I hope you guys are better at this than I am, because honestly I think I suck at it so far. It is so much harder than I was expecting it to be, especially coming out of a cheesy plastic little case like this. I mean, it's cheesy, and I don't want it to look bad. I don't want it to look ruined, you know? So I just hope this doesn't ruin this for me, honestly. But I am seriously rethinking my palette purchases right now. Seriously. I may end up taking them all back. You never know. I'll let you know in the next video. I love you guys, and I hope you're having an amazing day. Pray that God keeps you safe in this crazy world we live in. Bye.